A brand new save to the channel, a youth only save. We've just finished 10 seasons of Sussex where we've tried to win the County Championship, the Royal London Cup and the T20 Blast. We won a lot, but we never won the Royal London Cup, and today we're going to be doing it a little bit different. We're taking over as Somerset. Somerset financially are in a pretty good position with a basic pay of 947. That doesn't change throughout the whole entire save, and as you can see, we are the 6th highest basic pay. So if you're a poor old Derbyshire, you only get 811,000. We are only allowed to play players that have come through either the Somerset Youth Academy or the Devon Youth Academy, because the Devon one tacks on to Somerset. So they're the only players we're allowed to use, and then the players that we're allowed to sign are only players that come through our Youth Academy or through the youth ranks in the end of season. We're not allowed to sign any domestic or overseas players. It's going to be incredibly difficult. But what it does, it puts an emphasis on coaching and physio. And these are the players that we've got available to us. We have got a squad of 30 players, of which all of these we are not going to be allowed to play at all this season, including 5 overseas players of Cam Bancroft, Ishodi, Matt Henry, Neil Wagner and Peter Siddle. These are the only players that have either only played for Somerset, come through the Youth Academy. It is going to make it incredibly hard season number 1, but it is going to give us room in the future to grow and become an absolute dynasty based on our youth system. And the first thing to do as captain is work out who we're going to re-sign, and hopefully here we can free up some money. So the first thing we can do as captain is sign some players, and now there's a whole bunch of youth players available to our name. Generally what you're looking for here is high batting averages or low bowling averages and really high wage demands. That's how you kind of work out who your best players are. We have 94,000 to our name. We are going to invest heavily into our youth team and into coaching, because that is going to develop the players the best. And there's a couple of players that meet our needs straight away. Aaron Wainwright is 21 years old. He's an aggressive, I like that, aggressive, scores fast, will play in all competitions, but he's a bowler with 156 wickets at 23 to his name. That is quite exceptional. A strike rate of 41 is brilliant. Not quite so great in one-day cricket, but in the Blast, I'd say that's a very reasonable performance. He's going to come in as our first signing on 3-year deal. And then with the bat to sign someone, there's this guy here who looks phenomenal. Simon Golly is 19 years old. Slight spin preference, slight back foot preference. Plays the spin off the back foot, obviously. But look at his stats. 15 matches. He's got an average of 50. Call it 50. 3 centuries to his name and a strike rate of 81 in 3-day cricket. In one-day cricket, he's got a century. He averages 30 with a strike rate of 114. And in T20 cricket, he's got a strike rate of 171. Fully fledged 3-format player. And one thing we could do with is batters, because we've only got 4 batters available to us. Will Smith, Tom Lambie, Tom Abel and George Bartlett. And I think the other player that we need to take a look at is going to be this guy, Plummer. Opening bat, which we definitely need. 19 years old, average aggression, but preferences throughout the board. Plenty of time on his side, but his batting stats are really good. 4 centuries, 4 50s, an average of 45. In one-day cricket, he averages 46 with 1,000 runs, 2 centuries. And in T20 cricket, a 133 strike rate. They're all very reasonable to me, which puts us way over budget. So it would mean that we need to drop our youth team down slightly to make it happen. But we can drop the physio down, which means it would happen. And sign 2 batters and a bowler. Right, Wainwright's in, Golly's in, and Plummer's in. Plummer's not in. Plummer wants more money. He's obviously a very, very talented young man. We're going to go 32,000. He's definitely worth it. We've got to sign good young players early doors. 3-year deal. And you know what? I think I'm going to switch the money around again and try and sign this guy. Drinkle looks brilliant with the ball. 104 wickets at 23 in second team cricket. 39 wickets at 20 in one-day cricket. And an average of 21 with the ball, but an economy rate of 7.65. Which completely messes with the original budget. but looks like a player of massive worth, which we really need, and we also need bodies on the ground. Plummer is in and Drinkle is in. We have added to this team superbly in the first window. So it does give us some more depth in this team. It gives us a genuine 6 batters. It gives us a genuine 6 bowlers. We've got 2 wicket keepers, and let's not forget one of those is Jimmy Rue, who is absolutely gold dust at the moment, 1,000 runs in county championship cricket, and we've got about 6 all-rounders. And we're going to do what we set out to do. We've invested in coaching with 50,000, so all these players are going to get work on their batting. And one thing that's really interesting, we've got new England superstar Shoaib Bashir, but we can't play him, and he will be released because he didn't come through the Somerset Youth Academy. The other players that we really want to invest in is George Thomas, who was part of the England Under-19 World Cup campaign a couple of years ago. Casey Aldridge with the ball is going to be critical for us, so he's going to get some technique, and only 22 years old. So is Lewis Goldworthy. And the last one is going to be Will Smead, who is a T20 player. But we are going to see if he's still available to play in red ball cricket, and if he is, we're going to turn him into a specimen. And everything we do, obviously, like the last series, will be tracked through stats as well. Oh, look at that. Plummer's on the rise already. Front foot batting to the limit. I've got high hopes for him. He's the guy that is 32.5 grand. Is he worth it? Have some work. Oh, he's already improved fast bowling to the limit. This is either really good or it's really bad. But this is how we're going to shape up for the start of the season. Tom Lammonby, who scored 100 in the Bob Willis Trophy final a few years ago, has kind of petered off. But here's an opportunity to come back. Plummer will make his debut. Tom Abel, class as always at 3. George Bartlett at 4. Golly's going to come in for debut at 5. And Jimmy Rue, 1,000 championship runs last season at 6. Lewis Gregory is a Somerset boy. So is Goldsworthy. So is Aldridge. So it gives us plenty of all-rounders. We've got depth. Craig Overton came through the Devon county before moving into Somerset, so that works, and Jack Leach is a Somerset boy as well. We're leaving a whole host of good players on the sideline. Bancroft, Sean Dixon, who scored a triple century 2 years ago. Andrew and Mead. Tom Banton is available. Tom Kohler-Cadmore is not. He came through Worcester. Davis isn't available. Ralph van der Meer we can't pick. Bashir we can't pick. Jack Brooks we can't pick. Josh Davey we can't pick. Siddle we can't pick. Wagner we can't pick. And Drinkle and Wainwright are going to go and play some second team cricket. So is everyone that is not going to be part of this team to start with. And after all that, we're still a 4-star rated team for the County Championship Division 1. We are going to start. It's a beautiful time to bat. Come on, Plummer, get yourself in. And it was all going so well until England international Chris Woakes pins him LBW. Decent knock first up, 26 off 54. And with a little pull shot, Tom Lammonby goes and makes his first 50 of the season. Before Chris Rushworth, the wily old veteran, cleans him up for a well-made 72. And Tom Abel bored up the first century of the season, cutting the ball away to the cover boundary of Chris Woakes to take us past 300. And George Bartlett did exactly the same. He went on and scored his first century of the season. A decent knock from 179 balls. Pretty chanceless for a guy that's averaging 30 in first class cricket. Simon Golly's exuberant strike rate on debut didn't quite work out, pulling one straight to slip. But Bartlett was not to be deterred with the wickets falling round him, hitting this one for 4 and moving on to his first career double century. And just as the team ticked past 600, so did Bartlett, moving on to 250 not out, before finally being removed for 257. Time to declare, time to try and bowl them out. We've got 2 days to try and take 20 wickets. We may have batted too long. Eventually, match drawn. 306 for 7 off 101 overs. They finish. Will Rhodes with some decent runs. Chris Benjamin runs. Sam Hain with runs. Just couldn't break them down. The pitch was actually okay to play on, but it's a good 10 points to start the season. As we get more improvements, Leonard has improved his bowling technique, so has Aldridge, and Golly's improved the front foot batting to the limit. He moves on to general technique. Nottinghamshire second game, a good Nottinghamshire team with England internationals of Duckett and Hamid in the lineup. Stuart Broad gets a run out as well. Tom Lammonby, he went back-to-back 50s, punching this one into the offside. Nice shot, nice knock, moves to 50. And George Bartlett, he's the man in form, 257 in the first game and 50 not out in this game. Golly's start to the campaign is a pretty poor one. Trapped LBW round the wicket to Stuart Broad. Now he knows what it feels like to be David Warner. And Tom Lammonby went on to make a well-made century. This could be the year that Lammonby cements himself as a county championship player. And we end up losing the game. Not enough runs on the board, to be honest. Somerset first innings, Bartlett with another 50, Lammonby with a century, but not go big, 397. Young Matthew Montgomery, only 22 years old, bats beautifully. One played and missed, one LBW appeal. I think that's his second one of the season, 2 in 2 weeks. He's off to a great start. 7 for Casey Aldridge as well. Don't let that go under the radar. Young player, getting it done. George Bartlett, what a start to the season. 107 not out, but we only score 2-4-1 as we are blitzed again. And we lose our lower order very, very quickly before they polish us off. Leonard's improved his bowling technique and Wainwright's improved it as well. And Leonard is on the rise. Leonard's the man. In fact, that's the change that we're going to see. Goldsworth is going out and Leonard's coming in. Give us an extra seamer, which now takes us down to a 3-star rated team. Maybe not the best choice I've ever made. And on day 1 against a very good Lancashire team in the next game, Plummer goes and makes his first ever first-class century. Well batted, sir. A good knock, 3 catchable shots, there was chances. But he's held on strong and is now averaging 61. We end up match drawn against Lancashire. Another game we're on the verge of winning, but just can't quite get across the line. We bat well, 319. Plummer with 104. I'm going to take some of that. But golly's had a rough start to the season. Bowl them out for 207. This was really good. The extra seamer really worked and Jack Leach came and spun his magic with 4 for 9. We get 254. Golly with 49. Starting to make stuff happen. Strike rate of 48. He's a faster scorer than that, but middle order held strong, gave us something, and we gave ourselves a day essentially. Day and an over to bowl them out. We had 98 overs at them. Couldn't quite finish it off. They hang on. It's 9 points, but we're in the relegation zone. Golly's improved his batting technique, as has Casey Aldridge again. An overall start to the season, 3 games down. The batting lineup's looking pretty good, minus Golly and Jimmy Rue. With the ball maybe slightly wanting a little bit with Lewis Gregory as the opening bowler, but generally okay. Oh, we've got match drawn. We needed about 470 to win. We were never going to get there, but Overton and Leach managed to battle it out. They got 313 and was sitting pretty at 303 for 5, but there were 313 all out. Casey Aldridge with 6 for. This guy has got something different about him on the game, and what it comes down to is strike rate. He's a strike rate bowler. He goes at a lot, but if you can get him bowling at the right time, he will run through teams, and that's what he did. Our batting wasn't very good. We changed it to be a seamer's wicket, and it didn't quite work out for us. But we did manage to hold on, do enough. Lewis Gregory, Casey Aldridge, George Bartlett, just doing enough, giving us some points. But we are the only winless team after 4 games. Oh, Drinkle's on the rise. That's what we like to see. Young players doing well. And Plummer is out injured, averaging 43 this year as well. Does mean the actual only other opener that we've got is Ben Green. 25 years old, averages 17. It's weakening the team, but when we get cash back out of letting all these other players go and overseas players, we're going to keep investing in young players and bringing through the best cream of the crop. Ned Leonard's struggling a little bit with a 56 bowling average as well. Drinkle and Wainwright both averaging 28 with the ball in second team cricket. Josh Thomas, George Thomas's brother, I think, is averaging 70 in second team cricket. Tom Banton's averaging 100 and Will Smeed's averaging 50. I wonder whether the change that we actually make is Will Smeed to open in the batting. It's crazy, I know, but he goes out and blitzes it. Let's just let him go out and blitz it. We've been smashed by Lancashire, and they only scored 414. Luke Wells with a really nice made ton. Runs down the order as well. Gregory with 4, Leach with 3. They batted a long time for that, 138 overs. We were 264 all out. Jimmy Rue holding strong with 68, but top order fell apart. Will Smeed, that experiment didn't quite work, and we were bowled out for 138 the very next day. Bottom. We might get relegated, but that's part of this process. It's an incredibly hard series to do. And it's a loss to 8 wickets to Middlesex as well. Somerset, 129 for Will Smeed. That's what you love to see. showing a little bit of faith. But 2-5-1, we've got about a 50-run deficit. 4 for Overton, 4 for Gregory. Gave a little bit of a bowl to Tom Lammonby, Eskenazi and Stoneman. Brilliant partnership in the middle of 154. Not an easy track to bat on. We get 198 all out. Again, top order lacking. I think Tom Abell's probably the most disappointing player of the series so far. High-class player, only averaging 31 with 1 century. Not quite sticking it, and they knock him off relatively easy and relatively fast as well. As we go into the blast, with Goldsworthy improving his bowling technique, Golly being injured, Plumbers get Golly. I wanted him for the blast because of his strike rate, and Leonard's back. I'm quite interested to see Drinkle in this because he's the guy with the 7.65 economy rate. That could be quite exceptional. And I feel it's a 5-seam a day looking at the weather. So I think we're going to give Drinkle a debut. Tom Banton and Will Smeed at the top of the order looks pretty good. Plummer's going to bat at 3. We're going to see how that goes. I'm not entirely convinced it's the right thing to do, but it's a debut. We've got some other players on the bench. We've got Jimmy Rue on the bench. Goldsworthy we can bring in. George Thomas and Josh Thomas are both available. And we've got Green we could bring in as well. In fact, Green had a very reasonable season a year ago. Jimmy Rue's not played a lot of this. Goldsworthy going at 9s previously. So I think this is the team we're going to start with. It's going to be a hard campaign. But we're a 3-star rated team. It could be a lot worse. And we pick up a victory, but it's a Duckworth-Lewis victory. So we could just bat on full max aggression. We only had 12 overs we were allowed to bat. Plummer 25 off 7. I'm all over that. Bartlett and Abel add in runs. We score at a high rate. Casey Aldridge 3 for 17. Drinkle went for about 20 overs in his first over. So we're just going to have to watch that. That's hammered. We've just been bowled out for 105 in 17 overs. Top order capitulated. Sean Hunt went absolutely through us and they knock him off in 12 overs. Jack Leach is on his way to England and Leonard's improved his bowling technique again. What I'm going to do for this period is just work on some aggressive one-day bowling, which I feel is going to help with wicket taking. And to me, wicket taking wins your games. Smashed by 42. Only Tom Lammonby offered some resistance. Top order's the problem. Nessa, it's not Michael Nessa, absolutely ripped through us. But Smeed and Banton have done nothing so far. We are going to make a change. Goldworthy is going to come in for Drinkle. Gives us a little bit more depth with the bat and spinner. Lose by 3 wickets. Not a bad performance. 160 for 9. Tom Lammonby with 48 again. But Tom Abell is literally just a walking wicket at this stage. As is Tom Banton and Will Smeed, who are averaging single digits of 5 and 6. Leonard's also going at 10 and over, which is a problem. We haven't really got a lot of choice, but I'm going to give Wainwright a run out just to see if he's got anything. Smashed by Middlesex. This is going to be the toughest save we've ever done on the channel. We've always been successful with England, but this is all about these young players. And at the moment, it's not quite working out, particularly the top of the order. We're 2 down before we've even started the game. How long's Golly out for? 2 days with a fracture. Looking forward to getting him in the team. Battered by Essex by 7 wickets with 4 overs remaining. Plummer top scores with 26. The batting's poor and we don't have 5 bowlers that's good enough yet. But Golly is back and golly gosh, we desperately need him in this. Look, we're a mess. I think he's actually going to come in for Tom Abell, who should in theory be the best player in the team, but that's not quite working. Gregory's going to take the captain's armband. None of it's going well. Every bowler is going around the park. If we look at 2 years ago to see if there's anything. Jack Leach. Oh, we can bring Jack Leach in. We're going to go with 2 spinners. Another loss, this time by 36 runs. 2 spinners didn't work. Leach and Goldsworthy both went at 13s. They go big. Jimmy Vince with 72. Plummer top scored for us again. And the openers, yeah. Okay, this is closer. They win with 4 balls to spare by 6 wickets. Was it really close? Not really. They did really well. Batting wise, more of the same. Nothing at the top. Thankfully, a run out in the county championship instead. And a 6-run victory by Essex. This went down to the wire in a very low scoring contest. Jack Leach was brilliant with 11 wickets in the match. Only big tall Paul Walter. He's a Big Bash legend at the moment. He did really well. We get 169. Bartlett top scores with 40. Plummer top scores with 50 in the chase. Gregory almost took us home with Craig Overton. Those guys put on 61, but we couldn't quite hold on. 3 points, bottom of the table. India win the Test Championship. James Rowe improves his batting technique. Thomas improves his batting technique twice. And Goldsworthy has improved his attacking bowling. I like that. And we almost topple Surrey as well. Plummer with a 50. Lammonby with 42. Nothing at the top of the order. Again, this kind of 130 to 160 is very much where our team's at the moment. Not bad bowling, Overton and Gregory. Goldsworthy, how's your attacking bowling going, son? Not quite there. But we had them on the ropes. But Jason Roy with 40. Ryan Patel batted really well for 40 as well. And in the return fixture, it didn't quite go so well. Tom Banton turned up. 80 off 50 balls. That's more useful than what we've seen. But they knocked them off with 5 overs to spare. With great pace as well. 3 runs. We're getting closer. The team may or may not be getting better. It's going to take a few seasons because we need the young players to develop and come through. They don't come in at 19 generally ready to hit the ground running. Got to build on it. Decent performance here. Tom Lammonby, 2 for 48. Goldsworthy, 2 for 32. Very good. Can't get it done with the bat. Tom Banton with the first ball. Look at that for a campaign. That's horrendous. That's taking inconsistency to the next level. Plummer's been very reasonable for us. Has chipped in most games with a 141 strike rate. So I'm quite happy with that. Lammonby's been great. And to be fair, I probably should be batting him further up the order. Rue's on the rise with his batting technique as we go and get a victory. 142 for 7. Gloucester. Ollie Price does well. He's a good player on this game. But Gregory with 5 for. Aldridge with economy rate of 5.75. And we get across the line. Plummer with 30. Golly with 31 off 23. I was just thinking he is terrible and he's not lived up to the expectations I've set of him. He's averaging 10. And his strike rate's now up to 110. You can imagine how much lower it was before that knock. Goldsworthy's improved attacking one-day bowling to their limit, which is fantastic. So if we give him some defensive one-day bowling, we can round him out. It's very overcast against Notts. This could be a mauling. Not a bad first game for Wainwright. 2 for 22 and 3 for 88. Low-scoring sort of game that we probably shouldn't have lost. Tom Abel steps up and scores 132. That's really good to see. But top order, non-existent. Bowl them out for 133. So we take a massive 180-run lead. Looking really, really strong in this game. We bat 242 all out. Bartlett with 61. He's had a great start to the campaign. Plummer with 41. And then they go 411 for 7 from 130 overs. We can't bowl them out. Poor. Really, really poor. Should have done better. 5 points on the board. We're staring relegation in the face. But it's all about the rise that comes with it. We may go down. But we go down fighting, and with youngsters we'll come back up. With the ball in the blast, Wainwright's not been that bad. An economy rate of 9.09, I feel, is okay for his first year. 2 wickets is a little bit of a kick in the teeth. So I'm going to give Drinkwell another go. What a win. 212 for 7. Surrey go 3 for Overton. He has had a good campaign. Drinkle didn't do well previously. Went at 14.5 and over here. That's a slight concern. But we knocked them off with 1 ball to spare. Will Smead, welcome to the party. Welcome to the season. Good to see you. 90 off 45 balls and 37 off 19 from Gregory. We've won 3. Okay, I think we're all agreed that Drinkle isn't the guy yet. Wainwright we should stick with. Tom Lammonby is going to move it again up 1 in the order. And we win this one. Things have turned around quite nicely towards the end of the season. Goldsworthy's 2 for 22 at 5.5. Exceptional. Aldridge has been good multi-format for us. I feel that's a good position and we knock off them quite easy with 5 balls to spare. 50 for Plummer. He gets it done. Second 50 of the campaign. 34 for Tom Lammonby. Gregory's gold down the back end of the order. We don't make the finals. Who would have thought that? But we do finish bottom. And who would have thought that? But we've bought it back. I'm actually relatively happy with that. Most runs in the campaign, Tom Lammonby, 371 at a strike rate of 140. He was great. Plummer was good as well, 360 at a 147 strike rate. I think we've got to doff our cap to them. And then there's just a big drop-off. Will Smead's strike rate was really good, but averaging 14 and only scoring 200 runs isn't quite going to get it. Golly averaging 15 with a 15 strike rate, not good. Tom Banton wasn't good. With the ball, Casey Aldridge actually outperformed, wicket-wise, Craig Overton and Lewis Gregory. So there's something really positive that's come out of it. Goldsworthy, fairly positive as well. All the young lads, very young. Jimmy Ruse got his front foot batting to their limit, which is great. I'm going to work you through the offside. Jack Leach is out injured, which is a bit of a shame, but we're going to give Goldsworthy a run out. And Drinkle's improved his bowling technique. Goldsworthy's improved his bowling technique. We get 2 young players coming through, Flavin and Swanton. We lose to Hampshire by 6 wickets. Kyle Abbott, man of the match. What a player he is. There's some statistics on him as being one of the greatest bowlers in the championship of all time in terms of how he's performed relatively to the era that he bowls in. We don't really bat very well in this game. Bartlett scores 250s. He's had a great campaign for us, to be fair. 25 years old. He's averaging 60 with the bat. Bowled them out for 237. Lammonby's always there. I chuck him an over here and there. Wainwright with 3 for 27. I'm going to take a bit of that and I'm going to enjoy it. But they knock off 169 for 4 down. Never really in doubt. Jack Leach with 3 points. Bottom of the table. And Sussex have won the T20 Blast. So Sussex with the team I've just managed. If you've not watched the series, you can catch out all 10 episodes. Wainwright, that's a really good performance. 2 matches in the championship. He's averaging 19. As we go and get a victory. Ramshaw with the runs, 19 years old. I don't know him. I don't know if he's a credited guy in the game. 4 for Leach, 4 for Overton. We took a first innings deficit with Tom Abel scoring a century. Jimmy Rue with 45. But we didn't actually need that much to bowl them out, because we bowled them out for 90 here, and to knock them off we only needed 150, and we did it in 50 overs. Oh, we might, I don't want to jinx this, we've got a chance of staying up. Casey Aldridge has improved his bowling technique again, and Leonard's on the rise. And so are Surrey, not us. Our batting is in a really, really poor place. We've not scored more than 300 in what feels like forever. Tom Abel finding a little bit of form after a poor start to the season, 77 not out here. Lewis Gregory, second top scorer, and that means your top 6 did nothing all game, which is very interesting. Bowled them out for 198, and they almost do it. Leach with 5 for 25. He's a great player on this game. Can't quite knock them off. Casey Aldridge went 7.5 and over, which is a massive concern. As we go into Royal London Cup territory and we try and work out what players we've actually got left. And Royal London Cup, this is the team that we're going to be going with. Green's going to open at the top, along with Plummer, who's going to make his debut. Bartlett at 3 has been brilliant in the championship. George Thomas, ex-England under-19, comes in. Jimmy Rue bats at 5. Golly's going to bat at 6. So I'm okay with that. We leave behind people like Dixon, Andrew Mead, 2 of the young players that's come through the Youth Academy, Davis, Thomas's brother who could come in. Bashir, Brooks and Davey and Henry all can't play, nor can Ogborn, nor can Siddle, nor can Wagner. So with the ball we're going with seamers Casey Aldridge, Wainwright, Sonny Baker, who's got 19 wickets, 25 in this competition. And then we're going with 2 spinners, to which we're going to change our pitch to being a spinning wicket. As we win the first game, we bowl Warwickshire out for 189. Warwickshire's a good team. Rob Yates, Will Rhodes, Ed Barnard, lots of runs in that lineup. Wainwright, what are you doing? 4 for 21. What a performance that is. 3 for Sonny Baker. Jack Leach was economical going at 2.9. So we knocked them off. A little bit of worry about Green and Plummer and Thomas and Rue. But Golly with 41 and Bartlett needs to be the star, 80 off 80. We are a 1-star rated team. That's incredible. I can't believe it comes down to this, but we need 4 off the last ball. Can we do it? Leach to Leach. Oh no. I can't believe we've lost that game. There was times in that where we were cruising. Bartlett with 100, Plummer with 50, and then we just got absolutely battered towards the end. Should have won it. Drinkle's improving his technique. I think the main thing in this competition is I don't feel outclassed at the moment, which is a new thing. We lose by 32. George Bartlett scores another century. Jimmy Rue with 50. Green with a well-made 43 at the top, but we're just chasing too many. We lost control at the start. Josh Cobb went massive. Oh my days, we've been pummeled. Now, Ali Orr was the star of the show in the Sussex save. He scores 136. Steve Smith scores 155. They score 414. That's a lot of runs. and we lose by 149. Plummer does really well, 96. First big contribution in one-day cricket. He's got 250s to his name, an average of 43. That's pretty reasonable. I don't think we're going to go through in this competition, but we do need to make a change with Sonny Baker. He's going at 7s, so that's not quite going to work. So Drinkle's going to come in. Batting lineup, generally okay. Smashed by Gloucester. Pauling. Fred Pauling, 19 years old. Again, I'm not sure if he's a real player in real life, but here he's off to a pretty good start. 2 centuries already in the county championship. Looking really good. They get 388. Our bowlers get pummeled. And then with the bat, Bartlett goes and scores 126, which means he will not be with us next year. He'll be playing in the 100. But he's got 3 centuries to his name. He's off to a great form. Also, Golly. This needs a little heads up. First 50. That's right, first 50. 34 innings in proper professional cricket is first 50. I'm going to make a controversial change, but I'm going to open the bowling with Jack Leach. It works. We get a win. We score 318 as well. We've not opened the batting or batted first very often. Golly with another 50. His strike rate in second team cricket was exceptional, and here he's got a strike rate of 102. So that's very, very good. Plummer with 60. Green with 71. We get a decent score, and we get control. Jack Leach bowled 10 overs straight through at the start at 3.1 and over. 2 and 4. There's a chance we could finish 4 and 4, 3 and 5, which I feel is a reasonable first effort. Smashed by Gloucester. 14 overs to spare. They knock off 250. Jimmy Rue with 89 not out, which I think is his highest score of the season. It is. Final game of the season against Derbyshire. We do okay. We lose, but we do okay. Runs for Green again. He's had a relatively consistent, 250s. He's improved towards the end. Plummer, I feel, has been relatively consistency without having a ton. Bartlett's been the best player of the campaign and player of the season so far. Thomas with 45 off 38. I think that's his highest score. It is. And they knock him off with a few overs to spare. It's okay. I'm alright with it. I don't expect to win the competition. And we're not the worst team in the competition with our 4 points and minus 0.48 run rate. We're the second worst team in the competition. Bartlett massively led the way as well with his 531 runs. With the ball for us, Goldsworthy 13, Aldridge 13. Wainwright I thought was actually reasonable. Aldridge, the economy rate is an issue. Jack Leach was really good when he played, but his bowling average was massive. Economy rate was really good. So just very average across the board. Just put one of the new guys on improve his batting technique, and Swanton is already on the rise. So Swanton and Flavin are 2 young players. Swanton with a 40 average in 3-day cricket, 33 in 1-day cricket, and 20 slow 20 or 122 strike rate. You may be wondering why players have numbers after their name. There are young players, our homegrown players that's come through either our network or we've signed them in the season they come through. So Plummer's one, Swanton and Flavin's one. We do have a bit of county championship action to finish off the season. It looks like we're going to get relegated. I think I am okay with that. I haven't got a choice to be okay with that. But I'm going to give some opportunities out. Tom Abel's going to drop out and Swanton's going to come in. Bartlett's going to move up. Lewis Gregory will become captain. And we end up with a match drawn. Not bad. But I'll tell you what's good is Swanton scoring 132 on debut, 47 strike rate, 4 played and missed, 1 LBW appeal. Bit of work to do there. But generally, a good performance, and a good performance with the bat against a good Hampshire team. Golly with 60 in the first innings, that's good to see. Rue with 82. So young players getting it done. Plummer with a 50 as well. Obviously a batting deck. We got them 6 down trying to bowl them out. They needed about 285 to win. We take 9 points. We are down. I'm okay with being down. But there's a respectability about drawing 4 games. Swanton's improved his batting technique twice in 2 days, as has Plummer. We lose by a wicket. 1 wicket. We just had to bowl them out. We couldn't quite do it. But golly gosh, 125 balls. That's a strike rate that we saw in second team cricket. He gets a first professional 100, a first county championship 100. It's been an average season, averaging 25, but 65 strike rate I quite enjoy. But good to see. Good to see him get some runs. 69 in the second inning as well. Bordeaux's out for 302, but 142 for 9. Kent get across the line. We pick up 3 points. Can we finish not bottom? Which would be nice because we finished bottom of the Blast and next to bottom of the Royal London Cup. Casey Aldridge has improved his defensive bowling. I only put him on about 3 weeks ago and he's already got the gains, bro. We're going to be without Jimmy Rue for the final game of the season. Does mean that Tom Banton is coming in. Is that his counting championship? It's 28 championship games. Plummer's average has plummeted as well, all the way down to 27. And final game, it's another match drawn. Not a bad performance. We needed about 350 to win the game. Weren't quite going to do it. 9 wickets for Jack Leach on the game. Casey Aldridge with 2 for 41 and an improved 3.15 economy rate with the bat. Bartlett finishes strong. Everyone else, not really at the races, but Bartlett has finished the season really strong. 1,000 run season for George Bartlett. He's been the star. Lammonby with 70. Opening the batting, Bartlett with 54, Golly with 46, Swanton with 35. We finished the season bottom, 90 points, 1 win to a name. Tom Alsop topped the batting charts for the Royal London Cup and the County Championship, and we didn't play him that much when we did our save with them. For us, Lewis Gregory, the second top run scorer, was 786. Average 37. He's worth his weight in gold. 750 runs and 50 wickets. Liam Dawson was raved about in professional cricket for scoring 850 runs and taking 45 wickets. And I'd say Gregory's season's possibly better than that. Tom Abel averaged 38 and was relatively reasonable. 750 runs for Lammonby. We need to take these guys to the next level. We need the 750 guys to start scoring 1,000 runs a season. Go from averaging 27 to 35. And that will put us in contention for promotion next season. The bowling will be a lot easier to face. Some good stuff in there generally. Golly with the best strike rate out of everyone. Bartlett with the most 50s and the most centuries. Tom Abel with 3 centuries as well. With the ball, a bit more clear cut. Jack Leach, 67 wickets was fantastic. We actually got all 14 games out of Jack Leach as well. Lewis Gregory with 50, Overton with 49. Slightly disappointed. Casey Aldridge with 42, I think is actually a reasonable return. He did play cricket a year ago and averaged 30, averaged 31 here. Economy rate was high, but like I said, we're working on that. Wainwright's coming in and hit the ground running. I think that's a fine performance. 13 wickets at 26. So overall, I think it's a hard season, but a good season at the same time. Wainwright improved his bowling technique one more time. So we're going to keep investing in these young players. Keep heading in the right direction. We're going to release a load of players next time because we're not going to need them, and just build out our homegrown youth academy challenge. It is possibly the hardest challenge on the game, and we're up for it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.